Hello everyone, Atou here.
And Tsuyoi.
And we're back. A Gundam tale. So, now it's time to actually take our first dive into another G system.
Into the hole!
I think we actually, probed the surface, in the past.
Lightly diddled the surface.
Right, but, didn't actually make all that much headway.
Do I need to use anything here? There's nothing up here, right?
Nothing up here.
Okay.
Well, nothing here.
To fight.
But as soon as you cross that threshold, as soon as you cross that line, now you gotta worry about enemies. So you can throw on a invisible if you want.
Didn't I buy items for that explicit purpose?
Yes. Yes, you did.
Yeah, let's not waste my TP. Well, it's not a waste.
Yes, it is a waste.
When I have 99 things, yes, it is a waste. You are correct. Let's hope that I don't fight anyway, but I probably will. Is it even a good idea to be avoiding enemies like this?
At the moment, yes. At least get yourself to a safe point first.
Yeah, that's a very good point. Atou.
Yes?
I have things to discuss about this game with you.
Ah, well, very well.
Hello, first enemy. Just don't mind me. I got things I gotta do. Okay, yep. Just gonna save. Get my health or TP back. I forget which one it is. Health, I believe. Gotta take a nap for TP. And there's no beds anywhere. And we can't just sleep in our damn Gundams. I'm sure it's uncomfortable or something.
Yeah.
Mine would be comfy. I'd have a shaggy fur seat.
Okay, so you saved on 2 last time. So save on one of the lower ones.
Okay.
8. Okay.
A shaggy leopard or zebra print seat. Be so good. Lay down on it. Pizza oven. I'd trick my shit out like Megas XLR. It'd be so awesome. No, I mean, I wouldn't have a car on top. I'd probably have a ball for a head if I'm not just straight up in a ball normally. A ball with what was the booster system? The Campers, just thrusters all over. If I can get to become a new type somehow, then that would be even better. Fuck it, no one will ever hit me.
Ah, yes, the ball fur.
The ball fur.
So, go ahead, fight. Fight the first challenge.
Hey, fucker, how are you doing? I hope it's Blackwing Kai. It's just utter bullshit. Butter bullshit. Hello, I'm gonna kill you. Hell F.A. Gundam and Hell Gundam, is that a thing? Is that even actually a thing, or is this just a...
You're fighting it now. Remember what I told you? Everything in here is going to be a Hell variant.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. F.A., I believe, stands for full armor. So you're fighting the full armor Gundam.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Which technically should be better than the normal Gundam.
Huh, yeah, you're right.
Since, full armor Gundam came after the normal Gundam.
Should be, but, whole legacy bullshit. It's the first one. It's the best one.
Right, the prototype is always better than the MPs.
It's not true for Zaku's, is it? Prototype Zaku? Y'all have your supers first thing? Jesus.
I'm not quite sure about that. Who knows? Maybe the original prototype Zaku is dang amazing, but then they have mass-produced prototype Zakus.
That's not good.
So, hard to say. Although someone did, explain the logic of why the prototype is much better than the mass-produced stuff.
So there's no point in scanning these guys, right?
No point at all. They'll just automatically be put in your register. And even if you do scan them, if you try to look them up later, it'll always bring up blank as to what their HP and techniques are. However, when you look at them in your enemy data, they'll be perfectly displayed for you. Just why? What's the point? You should display this stuff when I actually need it in battle, but I just don't. Yeah, but before you get into your thing, someone explained that the prototype is always better than the mass-produced is because when they're making the prototype, they're putting everything they can into it to basically...
To impress.
No, to impress, but also to prove their point of concept. Of, we got this idea for this big, great thing, and here is the big, great thing. Look how awesome it is. Now, if we're going to mass-produce this, we can't put all the good stuff into those mass-produced things.
No, you just can't.
Yeah, they can't all be the big, great thing. So we're gonna have to make some cutbacks here, 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 and here, and it'll be a pretty good thing. Yeah, the marginally passable thing. Yes, the MP model. But the prototype is always going to be the best because that's where all the good stuff went into to begin with.
Right. That's fair.
So, you were going to say your thing.
Yes. Let's just do this. Oh, you have a quick shot. That's fucking fantastic. So, I've been thinking about this game a lot recently. And in particular, the story.
Yep.
As far as I can tell, the story's just fucking all over the place and not that good. In some ways. Like, things are just said and never explained. Like, you know, save the world, that infamous line from Kermit. You know, it's like, we are going to save the world! Never explained what the fuck he thought by that. Never explained, he had the misconceived notion that we were do-good. No, none of it was ever explained.
Oh. I guess you never inferred what I did from what Vargas said. Not Vargas, Bazuli.
Bazuli.
Yeah. Remember how Bazuli was originally with the Dark Alliance?
Yes, of course. Of course I remember that.
Okay. And, we met up with Vargas, and Vargas knew Bazuli.
Right.
And, we said, what? You know this guy? But he was with the Dark Alliance. And Vargas laughed it off. Really? With the Dark Alliance? I must have tricked you into joining, didn't they? And Bazuli was all, shy, saying, yeah, they tricked me.
What?
You don't remember?
They're called the Dark Alliance!
But remember, Bazuli was also saying, we will save the world. So,
Okay, so they're just really stupid?
Bazuli was really stupid. They proved that. And I can only presume that since Kermit dude was, spouting the same stuff, that he was just as stupid. Because, the other two Dark Alliance members were not saying save the world stuff.
Yeah, I mean, one was clearly a pirate, and the other one, Miss Kermit was raiding a desert city and killing all their men.
Well, I'm pretty sure, if there was to be some explanation given, it'd be one of those stupid things. How can you have war if there's no men to fight? No, I would not put that kind of stupidity past.
I'm so mad. It makes sense, but it's so dumb. Why won't you fucking die?
Because those guys have 15,000 HP.
Oh.
And they're presented as a mid-boss now, but they're actually normal enemies you'll encounter as you go throughout this dungeon.
Oh, I hate these guys so much.
And they always start with a burst.
Are they able to be heated? No. Okay, just asking. I'm sorry. So you're about to shoot me with something. Is it a laser or a bullet? Let me go with bullet and we'll see if this works out. If it does, then fuck you.
But yeah, for Bazuli, he straight up and said, yeah, they tricked me.
Okay, fair enough.
And
fuck you! I just wasted my Chapu.
So, given the situation, I can only presume it was the same for Kermit, dude. That he actually, believed that.
Okay, you know what? That's fair enough. Okay. There's this... Okay, so the main plot behind the game, or, the main... Sorry. The main motivation behind it is that your orphanage was blown up by, the Black mobile suit.
All for revenge.
All for revenge. Hooray. Hold on, I'm about to see if this chaff field will work. I was about to expect Tremmy to kill him. So this could work. This could block it, if it's bullet, right?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. That worked out.
Yeah, I am so bemused that you can shoot a bullet so hard it comes out as a beam that you can sweep with.
Yes, of course. Why not? That's totally normal. I don't know, you haven't done that. I do it every other day. Bye.
Right.
Okay.
So you have the Miller motivation.
Right. So, in the beginning, our characters just come under the impression that the evil Vladi Zarth did it. It sounds like something the Dark Alliance would do.
No.
Well, wait, why were we going up against the Dark Alliance? We went for the pirate because we were
remember
asked
the
to.
chain of events?
Well, I remember why we fought the pirate. Save on the same one, I assume.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. Let's use 8 as the saving ground.
Okay, so we fight the pirate.
Okay. But you don't remember what put you on the track of Vladi Zarth?
No.
Okay, right after you made the GM, like, a Zaku came in.
Right.
And he was all like, hey, that's a Zaku. You were there that blew up the orphanage. And the guy replied, oh, wait, you were that kid that was there at the orphanage, confirming that he was amongst the 3.
Oh, right, the Zaku I fought, the first one?
Yeah, the first one.
He was there.
Yeah, he confirmed it, like he was there when the orphanage blew up. So, like, after confirming that, and he was all like, you may have stopped me, but you will not stop our leader, Vladi Zarth. So he name-dropped.
Oh, and our guy's like, the leader who
Yeah, like, he must be the one that piloted the Black Zaku. And,
right, we
like,
just assumed.
Yeah.
So it was based on assumption.
Yep.
Right. So, here's the thing. The way I saw it, is it, from a story standpoint, or a writing standpoint, it really feels like that Vladi Zarth was supposed to be the one that shot the orphanage. But then, when we're on the moon, they just introduced this fucking nuts chick, or whoever the hell it was that blew up our orphanage. Give no reason why she actually blew up the orphanage. It's just, it seems like her only point as a character was to absolve Vladi Zarth of his sin of blowing up our orphanage.
Well, hang on.
Okay, so you went up and you went to... Huh? Hey, wait a second. Let's see. I got like a directions because like
this is basically the moon base but backwards. But you're gonna be unlocking everything but backwards.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So let's
So this place
see.
is
You
locked.
went. Oh, did you grab the treasure chests that were outside?
Treasure chests?
This
Yeah?
is easy to check. You do have the double Gatling guns, right?
Oh, crap. Let me check. Double Gatling guns? Would they be in here?
Wait a second. Check Aeon.
Yeah, I think I put them on her. Yeah?
Okay, yeah. So you definitely got them. So let's see. Went through the door. You went through the door. Okay, go. Go through the door. Let's see. So you're gonna want to go west.
So, this one.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, so follow that pathway until you reach an elevator. Okay, so like
what I think is that, like, it seems like her character was invented just so that Vladi Zarth isn't the one that blew up the orphanage and we can feasibly have him on our team without, being kind of weird.
okay, go to 93. Now, I can see where you can see that, but the game... Oh, how can I put this? The first moment you told Vladi Zarth the reason why you're on your quest for, like, revenge, this should be, like, a straight path until you run into, like, your next boss encounter.
Okay.
The moment you first told him, he was silent.
Mm-hmm.
Because that would have basically been your indication that, oh, right.
Look over here.
Yeah, you're going to want to take out that enemy.
Okay. Right, because like you were saying...
Like, the realization, like, oh, okay, this is the orphanage I blew up. Or at least that would be the first indication, right?
Yes.
But
it wasn't.
It wasn't.
And he could have said that, but he didn't, because otherwise we wouldn't have a fight.
Well, no, it would reveal, like... Okay, you gotta keep in mind, Vladi's plan from the very beginning was to have the Neo-Zarth fight and take over.
Right.
But that was because he was being goaded by Gabriel into doing that.
Right.
So, like, in the events preceding that, he, for some reason, was with 2 other, like, people. The guy who was in the Zaku and that one woman, Mahdi. Mahdi, for some reason, just shot an orphanage off to the side.
Yep.
And, Vladi Zarth, like, Hal.
He was like, no.
And then Hal stopped her from gunning down, like, the kid. Because when we saw it from Tristan's perspective, he was just walking along, and then explosion. And then he turned, what was that? And he saw, like, these 3 mobile suits off in the distance.
Right.
2 generic ones, and one that really stood out in the center, the black one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And, like, the one off to the side started to aim for him until the black one was like, no, don't fire. And so they all just left. to where, like, Tristan just declared to get revenge on those 3 mobile suits.
And apparently the black one, even though he never saw the black one fire, and it was the one that, like, said don't.
Right. The black one,
It was just
Hal,
commander.
like, Tristan presumed that it was Hal that fired, but he never actually saw him fire. And, based on what we've seen on events, like, Hal learns that, okay, so Tristan is trying to find who he believes shot the orphanage. He believes that that's like the person who was in the black mobile suit.
Mm-hmm.
And then using that, like, for some reason, Hal kept on pushing Tristan to basically be this force to challenge him. Like, remember, he gave Tristan the Gundam.
Right.
And, like, even Tristan was wondering, did Hal know that it would come down to this? That he would be this evil force, and so he set me up to oppose him? Because how else could I make the Zeta to fight him?
Right.
Unless, like, I had
Tristan
the
said
gun.
that?
Yeah,
That's really...
he was contemplating that to himself. Like,
really
this seems
observant.
too coincidental that I have the Gundam, what's needed for the Zeta, which would help me oppose the,
And he gave
the
it to me.
Zard. Yeah, and Hal, the leader of the Zard, happened to give it to me.
That
So
is a
he
very
observed
observant.
that. And then, as you continue on, like, down, like, to actually fight Hal in the bottom of Eisengrad,
Uh-huh.
like, not once did Hal say he was the one who shot the orphanage.
Right.
He just kept on, like, come on, Tristan, aren't you here to get your revenge? And, like, he was piloting, like, the Black Zaku, and he said, he's doing this to goad the best of what Tristan has to be able to fight with.
That does make the story seem a bit better.
And, like, more or less, it just comes down to, okay, so Hal knew that Tristan mistakenly believes that he's the one that gunned down his orphanage, and he's going to use that to motivate him, to push him, to see how far that would allow him to go as a pilot, fighter, what have you, to see if he would be, like, a force to be reckoned with. At which point, it was making me wonder, at what point did he decided to go against Gabriel? Because that's what it seemed to be like, since Gabriel was obviously the big force that was, like, pushing for, like, world damnation. When Hal was all like, revenge for family, but that just fell out of favor at some point.
My question is how he knew that he was going to go revenge, damnation of all humanity.
Hey,
Like, was that a known thing?
I figure either he knew about it, or he had an inkling about it, or it's just like, they've been going, like, Tremi said on and on, that Hal, and even their butler, he was never this kind of guy. To be like, world domination, revenge for the family, and all that kind of stuff. They said it was unlike him, so I take that to mean Gabriel, who does want to damn humanity, goaded Hal into doing it, but he was having the regrets. And so it was maybe those regrets that pushed him to want to
Oppose Gabriel.
To oppose Gabriel, but he couldn't do that directly himself. He was in too deep. He was already the figurehead and stuff. So let's make someone else the hero of this story. Hence why he seemed to be helping Tristan along so much, seemingly. And then later on, we find out that Mahdi was the person who shot the orphanage because we don't know anything about it. She's just this psychopath who does whatever. So yeah, we're sure this new person could easily shoot down an orphanage. We don't know if she's the type of person who wouldn't do that. Whereas for Hal, they've pretty much tried to state, this is weird, he's not this kind of person. So he's not the kind of person that would just shoot an orphanage out of nowhere, according to Tremi and Butler.
Right, okay, see, I figured that the way they had wrote everything was that he was totally in the mobile suit first when they, that shot your orphanage. They're like, oh shit, but he's gonna join the party at this point because we came up with this whole story here. Fuck, throw this character in the last dungeon and say that she did it because she's nuts! And then she's gonna be like, and then it's gonna be like, did you do it because Gabriel? She's like, you think I'm working for Gabriel? Those aren't my motivations. Never learn her actual motivations. She seems like a non-character. She seems like a fucking excuse.
I get it, they never gave much for her motivations. It's that, like, she was the one who shot Tristan's orphanage. She was apparently using Gabriel for her own ends, but that seems more like in her mind, she thought she was doing that. Or maybe she was doing something. We don't know. The game never focused on her. That's because she never tried to, like, befriend us or be with the party all that much. Hal did spend time with the party, so we did get to see him, and we even knew people that were close to, like, Hal, so, like, we get, like, a very good feel of who Hal is as a person, as opposed to the person who is, like, the antagonist that, like, instigated our desire for revenge.
Right, but even with characters we don't get in our party, I can still understand their motivations, like Fat-Ass McDumbass, who has Grand Gundam. He's just a greedy asshole fuck.
Huh, okay, so it should be easy to understand. Oh, look, here's this, psycho bitch who just loves to shoot orphanages. Like, Tremy, you have someone chasing after your title.
Fair enough.
Like, I understand where you're coming from, but I also understand
Disagree.
that, like, we've been playing this game for a long time, so I can easily believe that you would just kind of forget story bits and plot points that would just, make everything seem and flow together.
You did bring up a lot of good points, and yeah, you pointed out a lot of things about how to make him more consistent as a character. It's fine, okay, I get what you're saying, you make sense.
Right.
Ray
also
tried to excuse it with one other thing, though.
Well, before that,
yeah,
I do want to talk. One thing that does help out is that this game, from the story plot lines, it really comes off as a big amalgamation of common story plotline threads you would see in a bunch of Gundam series.
Uh-huh.
Aeon being an artificial human from space, that's in a bunch of Gundam series. The protagonist being this young whippersnapper who just gets into a mobile suit and now he's piloting it like nothing. That's a lot of plot points. The whole, we're fighting to save our people, yay. But then all of a sudden, instead of there being who we thought were the evil ones, we're not the true evil ones. There's actually the shadow organization that's the true evil ones that we now have to fight in order to be truly free or peaceful or something. There is a lot of story. Oh, and the whole, here's the bad guy with the helmet who,
always.
he's the rival that we've always had to fight. But now we must fight together against bigger jaws. And there is a bunch of plot points and stuff that just follow a lot of keynotes from throughout the Gundam series, which I think it makes sense for this game. Because this game has an amalgamation of mobile suits from all different Gundam series that logically does not make sense that they would have those mobile suits.
Right.
And yet they have the storyline saying that, yeah, there's a bunch of stuff that contradicts why these things are here. The game itself says as much. In these books that you read. We're seeing things from, supposedly different histories that couldn't have possibly taken place at the same time.
So what you're saying is it's a cluster, and that's why the story seems so everything seems kind of befuddled.
I wouldn't say it seems befuddled. I'm just saying it takes a lot of key plot points from a whole bunch of other story series, since this seems like an amalgamation of things.
Right.
Because so far, from a storyline perspective, everything seems consistent. I have not seen any plot holes.
Right.
Just some things I'm wondering, isn't that a thing? But they never brought it up. And the only reason I'm wondering if that's a thing is because I'm thinking of the series it comes from.
Like Devil Gundam, and the fact that it shouldn't have been that easy to kill it.
Devil Gundam's a scary mofo with nanomachines.
How do you kill it then?
You use death nanomachines. Nanomachines designed specifically to kill nanomachines.
Ah.
Marie kind of did that, I presume, which is how she was able to heal people who were affected with the death nanomachines. But the thing is, you would have to spread that stuff throughout the air over Devil Gundam, since, Devil Gundam is a nanomachine-based monster.
I was supposed to go in that door, right?
Yes. You are going the correct way. Although, one thing that I would advise, or something I would suggest, is that it is not a bad idea to just immediately turn around and go back to the save point and save. But if you feel that battle wasn't all that tough, to where when you fight the next battle...
Is the next battle going to be about as tough?
They get tougher. They always get tougher. There's not going to be, a battle that's just as tough.
Going back.
Okay.
Going back!
Right, so don't be afraid to just, go back to the last save point and then just, work your way, back down here.
I'd ask if we could just be quiet going all the way back and you could just cut until I come back, but I know you don't want to do that.
I got stuff to talk about, and don't you remember when I talked about earlier that, I would be surprised if I honestly talked about everything I wanted to talk about by the time that we got through this dungeon, and that includes this whole back and forth.
92, right?
Right, 92.
Okay, fair enough.
Okay, so, any other story stuff that I can fix for you?
Well, Ray was talking to me about... I was talking to Ray about this whole thing before, and when I had used that chick as a scapegoat, essentially...
Mm-hmm.
He pointed to some other Gundam series where this I eventually was able to pull out, there's this secondary Gundam group, not the main characters. I guess they're kind of slight antagonists but not the main antagonists, I don't know the Gundam series, but I can tell you this. At some point, one of the chicks just saw him. They were like flying, and she saw like a mansion with like rich people.
Gundam 00.
Yeah, where she just like blew up the mansion because she was like, oh, look at them living it up while we're here in war and people are suffering, and she's like blew it up.
Yeah.
And he's like, yo, that was fucking nuts. I'm like, yeah, but she gave a fucking reason, even if you think it was disproportionate and not cool. At least there was a reason. This one chick just shot an orphanage. If they'd at least give the reason of, I put them out of their misery living in a cruel world like this, that would have been enough. Even if I completely disagreed, it would have been enough.
Okay. Funny enough, I was thinking of that exact scene when I was describing that moment. Yeah, this girl just shot an orphanage when she was with these three. Just like that one scene in 00, which came out later after this.
Uh-oh.
I'm pretty sure 00 came out after like this game was up.
Yeah, but Ray brought that up, and I'm just like, but at least there was reason.
But here's where it's not fair. That's an anime, and in the anime, they don't mind switching positions from like, okay, now you're not following the main characters, now you're following these other people, seeing what they're doing.
They've done that in the game at times.
No, you never got that in the... Okay, like, very rarely did you ever get that in this game. You're always following the main protagonist, Tristan. So everything pretty much always has to be from his perspective.
Usually.
And, like, maybe at most, they could have had a flashback of when that girl was saying, I shot the orphanage, to just like have the three mobile suits go out there, she turn around, see like
they did kind of
urchins, and then blast it. But they didn't.
They did show a flashback where it showed one of them saying, no, don't do it.
They showed that when Tristan was first remembering it in the beginning of the game. But one thing I noticed, I think maybe I pointed out, was it looked like when she was like, think back and remember to Tristan, they had a cutaway. But they didn't have any cutscene in there to thinking, oh, now they're going to show Tristan remembering it correctly. But no, there was no cutaway, no cutscene. They had a perfect moment to show it. Even a moment from like a flashback from her perspective. They just didn't, and boy, did that seem weird to me. But that's what I'm saying. It's unfair to make that comparison, because one's a show, they'll cut away different perspectives. This is a game. They can only like show it from the perspective of the protagonist.
Well, as you said, it was weird that they didn't include that flashback there, and they totally could have.
Yep.
So, it's not just like, oh, it's an anime. They could have done it in the game. They just didn't. They could have given her a reason or justification using that, or anything. They just didn't.
That's Gundam it? You just want a line of her saying, because it was fun?
Yes.
You can't just accept that, like, this girl just decided to, like, shoot an orphanage just because.
I can accept that, but for the entire motivation of my character, the crux of my character's fucking reason for them being here is because some chick blew up his orphanage for the lulz.
Yeah.
It's like, that is the weakest reason for my character.
What?
Not for my character, but it just makes it all seem... I don't know. I mean, I guess what other reason could there have been for blowing up my orphanage? It was a fucking orphanage. Like, there couldn't have been a good reason.
I mean, a random act of violence created a hero that saved humanity. That's essentially what his origin story comes down to.
Yeah, you're right. Now that I think about it, there is no good explanation for why they would have shut the orphanage, other than, like, the I tried to save them from living in a cruel world thing.
Or she was just a psycho bitch.
Yeah, or she's just a psycho bitch. Those are literally the only two possible explanations. Or, oops, my gun went off.
Now, you can't say that when you saw the targeting reticule specifically target the one orphan that didn't go up in flames. They did show that.
Oh, hey.
Is this a random battle? Or...
No.
Oh, okay.
This is the battle.
Okay, well, fight it.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, that's right. You did pick up some Gundam data. Right, we were talking. Okay, so, yeah, you may have noticed you picked up some Gundam data, and 50 of it.
Yeah.
And just so you know, yes, you can totally create another Gundam.
Cool.
No, there's nothing special about it.
Yes, I figured it was completely worthless.
Like, I thought that it was like, wait, Gundam? But that's like one of the earliest mobile suits ever. Maybe there's something special about it, that because it's this data, that like it would become like the Gundam of Legends or something like that, and it would have the stats to show for it. But no, I saved my game, I created it, I boosted all of its stats to max, compared it to the one I already made earlier. There's absolutely no difference between the two. It's purely, if you just wanted another Gundam, here's another Gundam. Ray has a different theory about that, though.
Uh-huh.
Like, he believes that if you have this Gundam data, you'll pick up something later on in the dungeon that combines with that 50 Gundam data to create a super mobile suit of some sort.
Is he just joking?
That's his theory. And
you think it's legit, or you think he's just kidding?
I think it's legit. I mean, like, a theory is a theory. It's not wrong until it's proven wrong.
I mean, do you think he legit believes that, or you think he was just making a joke?
I don't think he was making a joke. I just think he was throwing a possibility out there.
Okay.
You know, because a theory is a theory. So, yeah, like, hard to say. Who knows? Maybe there is some kind of special thing if you hang on to that data. Or maybe it's something to give you extra cash, because God knows how much Gundam data will sell for.
Yeah, you'd think it'd sell for a lot being legendary.
Yeah.
Yeah, you sell, like, Gundam, like, or you sell, like, some sort of, like, crazy, like, thing that doesn't have the... If the word Gundam, you just puts a big ka-ching on the price tag right there. It's really good shit. Which one should I focus on? Which one has the least health?
That would be the Hell Mark II.
I figured.
Yeah, the Mark II has 13,000 HP, while the Hell Diaz has 15,000 HP.
Oh, that's not that much more than what it was before.
Yeah. Man, it's just...
Oh, Jesus. Yes, thank you, Bazilli, for getting this out.
They're all strong. Like I said, the battles just get tougher the further down you go.
Fair enough.
Yeah, but it's just... but it feels quaint seeing this battle again. Like, I'm at the point to where, like, I'm max level, I can throw on a stealth and nothing random encounters me. And it's been a long time since I've seen these guys. And these are just, like, mook fodder enemies as, like, you go on deeper into the dungeons.
Right.
So it's just quaint to see these things and thought, oh yeah, these were considered a challenge.
Oh shit, where are you at? What could you possibly be at now?
You'll get there.
I mean, if I had to fight two big Zam guys right now, I'd still feel like those would be a bit of a challenge. With all the bullshittery they had going on. Bye. Oh wait, I blocked because I was afraid of that guy.
Right. Okay. So, like, I just kind of find it funny that Ray excused it with an explanation from the future that possibly explains something that happened in this game that should be years older than it.
Fair enough.
Okay, so next plot point, or like anything else about the story I can clarify for you.
That's pretty much it, actually. It's just those things, like, like, some people saying they were gonna save the world didn't make any sense to me, and it didn't seem like it got explained, but I guess it did. It is really weird that people are talking about the Sky Pirates as if they were this shady and scary group of people, and then it turns out they're all perfectly okay. But they're still called Sky Pirates, so you'd think that they kill people and do bad things and smuggle weapons and are bad. But then, no, not really.
Ahem. A rose by any other name.
So it's just the name.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that, like, you got this group that call themselves Sky Pirates. And, like, particularly based on earlier, when we were, like, dealing with, like...
Oh, wow,
like, legit pirates that ransacked a port town.
Oh, yeah.
So, you know,
Sea
a group
pirates.
that, like, yeah, sea pirates. So a group calling themselves Sky Pirates? It only seems natural to assume that, like, these are going to be a bunch of cutthroat ruffians that are, like, gonna shank you and rape your dog.
Well, I mean, weren't we told by outside sources that they were dangerous?
No.
I thought Marie said be careful or some shit.
Like, Marie's the one who gave you a invitational pass to go and actually enter the place.
I know she did.
Right, and, like, she may have said be careful, but I'm pretty sure that's more of a be careful because they're kind of weird. Because they're more eccentric than, like, anything.
That's true.
Mm-hmm. But, yeah, I'm pretty sure that if Marie thought, even for, like, a moment, that it was legit dangerous to you, then...
She wouldn't have even sent you?
No, she would have properly warned you beforehand. If there was, like, you know, no choice but to see those guys. But, like, yeah, I don't... Huh. I seem to even remember, didn't Marie tell you that Vargas, or, like, the leader of the Sky Pirates, was not a bad guy? Or at least not a dangerous guy?
She might have. She might have.
So, like, you know, just sky pirates, black market, you know, all that kind of stuff. I believe the person who told you about them was Hal to begin with. That, like, we believe that the Dark Alliance is getting weapons from, like, the black market, which is run by the sky pirates, and so he sent you their way, which, now that I think about it, damn, is that clever on Hal's part. He super set you up to go against Gabriel, because by directing you towards the Sky Pirates, who he made them seem like that they're funneling weapons to the Dark Alliance, when they're not. He's the leader of, like, the Dark Alliance, so he should know where they're getting their weapons from, which is the guy from China. So he more or less sent you to an independent weapons dealer to fund your outfit, and by going to them, you also found out who was really funding weapons to the true Dark Alliance, which allowed you to weaken them in the process.
That's a good point.
So,
which makes Hal even cooler.
So yeah, Hal super helped you out, like, as like you were trying to get revenge on him.
And he didn't die when we killed him.
Well, don't you remember his mobile suit fell down and like you're
it didn't explode.
Yeah, it didn't explode, and you're all like, well, what about Hal? And they're like, no time, run. So like, of course he was gonna live, like after something like that.
Right. Okay, fair enough. I have nothing else. I am undone.
So, you know, from a storyline perspective, when you think about it, a lot of stuff is a lot more clever than I gave it credit for.
And you were giving it pretty good credit before.
Yeah.
Vasily, you have been injured. Get the fuck out of here. That, not you, Tremmy.
But it's fine. You're doing fine. You're, like, handling this battle, like, pretty darn well, actually. You're switching out, getting your shots in. No one's died, technically, so, like, you'll be able to, like, heal easy enough.
I'm kind of running low on TP, personally.
Oh, yeah, that is the thing. But, yeah, that's fine, because, like, after this fight, you can just escape, go heal at Marie's, and then, like, you know, walk your way back down here.
Fair enough.
Yeah, because, like I said, you're probably going to be going to Marie's a lot.
Marie, we're back again. It's only been 5 minutes. You've been down there for half an hour. It's really bad, Marie. Can we just nuke the place? I don't think it's wise to nuke a G system. I'm considering it. I mean, what's the worst that could happen?
Really? I figure it'd be more like, hey Maria, back. Tristan, glad to see you again. Oh, and you too. And then just like everyone else that's like standing behind him, you know, beaten up, like arms in casts and stuff like that. Like, loves that Tristan is visiting her so much. But, you know, still everyone else has to, like, you know, come along.
Also good to see you too, Aeon.
Right, I forgot Aeon was with him at this point. Right, I need to remember this is post-game, but it's not post-game. Like, post-game to where before you beat the final boss.
Yes.
Nice of them to give you Hal. Kind of reminds me of another game that was, that didn't do that, even though it gave you something really awesome.
What's that?
So there's this game, Legend of Dragoon. One of my most favorite RPGs ever. It's up there. I'm not sure which I like more, Legend of Dragoon or Final Fantasy VII. And, like, you know how much I love Final Fantasy VII.
Yeah, I do.
Mm-hmm. So, like, you know, by my standards, like, Legend of Dragoon is up there. Yeah. So, one thing that Legend of Dragoon does is that characters go out and they get, like, a dragon soul, like an orb. And they can call upon this orb to give themselves a super dragon armor magical girl transformation to where they have wings, they're flying, they're decked out in like cool magical dragon armor and stuff like that. Really awesome. And like the thing is, it's one of those predestined soul kind of things to where the orb is specifically connected to a soul that's living at the time in the world. So the two must come together in order to activate the power. which I think is kind of neat because you actually get party members to where you have to go out of your way and find their dragon souls to give them transformations. Otherwise, you can totally go through the entire game without certain party members ever getting dragon transformations. There's just these normies fighting alongside the Dragoons. But anyways, at the very, very end of the game, you fight the big bad who's trying to destroy the world because, like, it's one of those, the world is on a cycle, and, like, it's on the cycle, everything needs to be cleansed to restart the cycle and stuff.
I hate the cycle.
Yeah. But there's also this other guy who is fighting the cycle. The thing is, the cycle has layers, and, like, like, he is from the previous layer that your layer of humanity took over. So he's angry at you and the big Psycho Master.
Who's he more mad at?
The Psycho Master.
Yeah,
Yeah.
To be fair, he's the one that started it.
Yeah. Yeah. So, but one thing he does is that he goes out and he kills the divine dragon of the gods.
Woo!
That was from, like, a few layers lower. And he got the divine dragon soul, which he fused with to get super mega. Like, have you ever seen a Zeo Rhymer?
I've heard the name.
Because he gets armor that makes him look like a platinum Zeo Rhymer.
That sounds pretty cool.
And yeah, he fights with it too. Okay, so like escape.
Getting out.
Yeah, get out, go to Marie's. So he gets platinum Zeo Rider armor. He becomes like this legendary Dragoon fighter, and I'm thinking, oh, okay, so I'll get this guy on my team, right? No. No, he never joins your team. He's that constant villain dude that's always there to challenge you. And the thing is, he's super dangerous because he knows that you people have dragon souls. So he went out and he got a legendary weapon just for killing dragons. The Dragon Buster. And he went out and he killed a divine dragon with the Dragon Buster to get its divine soul. So now he has the greatest dragon soul ever, along with the greatest...
when he gets those super mode, does it make him a dragon too?
Yes.
Okay, so all you gotta do is when he comes at you, you gotta redirect his hand and get him to stab himself.
It'll
be super... I'm just talking in an actual fight, though.
You can't,
not
it's
RPG
because,
rules.
I know, it's just like, with the way he fights with the Dragon Buster, it's kind of like fused to his arm.
Would it be possible to twist his arm back around to make him stab himself?
No.
Logically?
No, not with the way the sword is built.
Oh.
So you wouldn't be able to redirect it, which means that when you fight him, you should not transform into your Super Dragon mode.
Oh,
because
no.
that makes his sword super effective against you. You know, the Divine Dragon killing sword. But yeah, the thing is, at the very end of the game, after you kill the final boss, he resurrects into, like, divinity mode. And then the guy who you thought you killed, the big rival dude, like, he tried to kill the god, but he couldn't. He got one-shotted. You come in and you defeat the big bad, but then you and your party just kind of get one-shotted when he resurrects as, like, super divine mode. At which point, evil rival dude figures, well, there's no other choice, and he kills himself.
To give you the soul?
Yes, to allow you to inherit the Divine Dragon Soul with the Divine Dragon Buster, and then you, the main character, become, like, you get the Super Divine Dragon Zeo Rhymer Platinum Armor with the Super Divine Dragon Sword, and you also get something because you still have your original Dragon Soul. It becomes like this Mega Buster Arm Cannon thing, and it's just a one-on-one between you and the final god of the game.
So,
and it's like a one-time, like, just for that battle only transformation.
Even after post-game?
Yeah, there is no post-game, no new game plus.
Oh, okay.
It's just like a final super mode battle.
That's pretty cool, though.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome. With Game Shark, you can give yourself that soul. And because it's a totally programmed in there, you can use it in normal battles and stuff like that. Using
is it as broken as it?
Yes, it is pretty dang awesome.
Question.
Yeah.
This god who made everything cycles. Is the fact it's a cycle that bad? Is that a bad thing? Or is it just that everyone's fed up with it? They're like, no, we don't want to die, so no cycle.
Yeah, no one wants to die, so no cycle.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's basically a tree, and every race that exists, like, is a fruit that kind of drops from the tree and, like, lands. They grow, they do their thing, but then the next race grows, drops, and they, like, do their thing.
And they conquer the first race?
It wipes out the first race, more or less.
They don't
not
have to,
always.
do
Yeah,
they?
that's not always directly. It's just like a consequence of. Like, the new race came into existence, so their fruit fell on top of the previous.
So God didn't ordain them to do it, it's just that it seems to happen.
The god set it up to be this way.
Well, I mean, it's still up to their individual choices whether they actually do conquer that race, right?
Well, it's not so much conquer, it's just that their mere existence wipes out the previous.
Oh, it hurts them.
Yeah.
Like mankind drains the magic away from the Fae over time, and so magic dies as the age of man rises, that sort of shit.
Yeah, not exactly, but yeah, you got the basic idea down. So,
that sucks, I mean...
So, yeah, that's what the whole fight in Legend of Dragoon... it wasn't that in the beginning, not at all.
Of course, it sounds like the Tales of thing. It's like, oh, no, now it's this thing.
Yeah, it just ended on that.
Or Persona. It's Persona. It's like, we're doing our own thing, stopping criminals and stuff. It's like, oh, nope, now there's an angry god.
Yeah, now you gotta fight an angry god. But, speaking of ending, we're gonna end the episode on that for now, and we'll pick this up in the next episode.
See ya.